Alright, so rained, possibly. Cooling off, definitely. Joining a cult, maybe. Let's dive into it. Alright guys, welcome back to this what might be a wet episode of Rolling with Tbone, as we are rolling down the road on Copper. In a coin toss, Copper won. That's the bike I would least worry about getting wet, because he doesn't have as much chrome as Big Papa and Blue Moon, so really don't want none of them getting super wet. But he's been out in the rain before, so this ain't new to him. Anyway, if you're new here, welcome in. My name's Tbone. I shoot motorcycle related content and any kind of content really. If you are new here, I ask you to check out a couple of my videos before you decide to hit the subscribe button. But if you do like what you see, hit subscribe, like, comment, share, do all that cool stuff that helps us little old bitty YouTube channels grow. If you're old here, welcome back. You know what's going on. As Copper Boy takes us out into the unknown of Mother Nature today. So, what did I mean about the cult thing? Well, I fell into a rabbit hole because originally this wasn't the video y'all was going to see. I had hoped to be able to go to the Georgia Grundle Run, which wasn't far from me at all, but weather and timing and other things popping up, the weather was the main drawback for me. It's just been raining all weekend here in North Georgia, especially in Gimmer County, Fannin County, where the Grundle Run was located. So I just kind of decided to back off of the Grundle Run. But I ended up sitting in the house during the rain. I kind of went down a rabbit hole where they were talking about cults. Of course, anytime you say the word cult, the very first name that pops into your mind is Charles Manson, or in most people's mind it would be Charles Manson. You know, not to talk about cults, but we had a lot of cults in the 80s and 90s and 60s and 70s, 80s, 90s, that, you know, even up to 2000, and even now there's cults that we don't probably know about. But what is it that draws people into a cult? And you know, I kind of have found that answer just by watching different videos, different shows. If you're susceptible to other people's ideals, then that's the first step. You're a free thinker. That's the first step. You know, you have free ideas. You don't follow the norms of your society. That always seems to be the first step of joining a cult. And the second thing is feeling like you don't belong. You know, and I think for a lot of people, you know, mom and dad don't understand you don't get along with your parents, and I mean, everybody's been there at some point in their life where, you know, I don't want mom and dad telling me what to do. I did, certainly when I was younger. But man, to be able to, and guys that were able to do that and focus in on it, I mean, you had Charles Manson, you had the Applewhite guy from the Heaven's Gate clan, but probably the most, in my mind, outside of Charles Manson, probably the most notorious in my mind would be Jim Jones. And Jim Jones, of course, if you're not up on your cult knowledge, which really there's never no reason to actually be up on your cult knowledge, I don't guess. But if you've studied this stuff and grew up in it like we did growing up listening to it on the news, Jim Jones was probably one of the more diabolical you know, when you think about his cult in Jonestown, you know, so many people lost their lives. And listen, guys, no matter what you think about what people or who they are when they join a cult or they get tangled up in a cult. Most of the time those people are innocent people. I mean, let's just be honest. They didn't wake up one day and go, hey, you know what, I think I want to join a cult. A lot of the times it was through sometimes hypnosis, through someone who was very, very charismatic and knew how to get inside of people's head and manipulate them. And I know people like, you know, are saying, well, nobody's going to get into my head and manipulate me. Actually, I used to say the exact same thing. But as you watch the way these guys work and the way they operate, you know, it might not be as hard to get inside your head as you would think it would be. Especially if you hit rock bottom in your life and no matter what you do, you're not finding the answers. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, here comes someone that, you know what? Hey, he's got the answers. He knows exactly what I'm going through. He's able to identify with what the problems are that I'm having in my life. Going through that, it makes it a little bit easier than you would think to be able to get into someone's mind and manipulate them and brainwash them. But now, you know, like I said, it might not be so hard to get into your mind as you would think, and you would hope that, you know, all of us would hope that we are strong-minded enough, strong-willed enough that nobody could ever break through our defenses and get inside of our heads. But, you know, when you're faced with the situation, you never know just exactly what it is that's going to happen to you. And, you know, Jonestown was probably the one I remember the most because it seemed to be the one that it hurt the most people. I mean, you had nearly 1,000 people dead in Guyana, South Africa. Some were killed, some drank Kool-Aid, committed suicide, but you had nearly 1,000 people die all because they followed a psychotic madman. Narcissistic, psychotic. You know, Jones was atypical egomaniac who wanted all the world's recognition. And if you've never watched anything on the Jonestown tragedy, go back and search it out, and maybe you're just refreshing your memory of how all those things happened. And it's an eye-opening, you know, thing. I mean, we've had the new one. Like I said, the Nexium would probably be the most recent one that got national attention. Of course, everybody who grew up in, you know, the 90s and 2000s who remembers the television series Smallville know the name Allison Mack. She played Chloe on the series Smallville. She was a part of it. Kirsten Kirk, who played Lana, was a part of it. So the manipulation factor can never be underplayed in my mind. It's easy to manipulate people, especially when you come to them offering answers to the questions that they can't find the answers to themselves. So, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I decided to pick this cult subject because we're rolling up on Halloween, and I'm getting ready to start production on the Rolling with Tbone Presents Spooktober. And, you know, I don't know about y'all, but to me, it seems like being in a cult would be a nightmare. So that kind of puts it in the realm of the Halloween world for me. But anyway, guys, yeah, I know some of you guys got to go to the Grundle Run. I know Whiskey Chaser was talking about going to the Grundle Run. I had spoke to Flip and the Blue Mule through on Messenger earlier in the week, and at the time I had spoke to Flip, My plan was to go, but like I said, circumstances changed. I know Weems Motor Co was going to be there, and I missed the opportunity to be out to meet up with some other YouTubers that I really wanted to meet up. I wanted to meet Whiskey Chaser in person, and I wanted to meet Jared Weems in person, but it just didn't work out. But hey, that's, you know, that's just life, guys. You don't always get what you want out of it. I was actually worried about being able to get you guys some content this week. My last opportunity, if it hadn't been coming out here doing it right now, of course today being Sunday, my last opportunity would have actually been on my way home from work tomorrow, which means I would have had to have left work at lunch and came home, grabbed a bike, went back, got all my camera equipment, and tried to shoot it on my way home. Yeah, just out here rocking around on Copper, getting y'all some content on a cloudy day. There is more rain in the forecast for today, so this will be a shorter video most likely. But yeah, I just wanted to be able to get you guys an episode out. Like I said, I'm getting ready to start production on the Rolling with Tbone Presents Spooktober. Looking forward to that. Hopefully actually going to start shooting some of those episodes this coming week, because before you know it, guys, well, October 1st is going to be here. Then before you know it, we're all going to be wearing jackets talking about Happy Halloween. Tell you too, guys, I hope my audio's coming in good, because it is windy as crap out here today. You know, I'm kind of sitting in the center. There's clouds all the way around me, and I'm kind of sitting in the center under the sunshine. Oh God, usually on weather like this I just won't even bother riding, but I don't. And we had this conversation in one of the chat rooms a few weeks back. I don't mind getting caught in the rain, but I do not like to purposely leave in the rain. I know there's people that it just doesn't bother. They'll ride rain, sun, you know, they're more hardcore than I am, and I have no qualms about saying that they are more hardcore than I am. I'm not trying to impress nobody like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind if I'm out in it and I get caught in the rain, a little rain shower, I accept that and go on. But to just get up in the morning and it be raining at my house, and for me just to purposely put on my helmet and leave in the rain, I've never been quite able to okay myself with doing that. If that makes sense. But yeah, I just wanted to get you guys some content shot, and I'm not gonna lie, this is the first bike ride I've been on in about 8 days. So I was jonesing a little bit to get on a bike. Tell you, this past week I was just super busy, catching up at work from Labor Day. Just a ton of stuff happening there. Finishing up cleaning from the flood from the last big storm that came through. So by the time I got in during the evenings, I was just really didn't feel like doing nothing else. You know, other than mowing my own grass, which I did. Didn't really care for doing much else, just other than laying back and relaxing a little bit. So, to close this video up, I'm going to issue a challenge. That's right, baby. You're getting a challenge from Rolling with Tbone. So what I want to do with this challenge is, seeing as how I'm getting ready to do all these horror movie reviews for Halloween, my challenge is for those of you out there watching who have a channel, especially the ones who hate horror movies, my challenge to you is to pick a horror movie, record yourself watching it, and upload it to your channel. Now, as a disclaimer, don't do anything that's going to get you monetized on YouTube or get your video taken down. But I just thought that would be a cool challenge, just to see how many of you guys have the testicular fortitude. How many of you guys have the guts, the blood pumping through your vein as a red-blooded human being, to put aside that fear and watch you a good horror movie for Halloween? And the challenge will go from now through October the 31st. And I want you to record yourself reacting to a horror movie or talking about a horror movie that you've watched. Watch one off camera if you can't do it at the same time. Watch one off camera. Give a review on it. And maybe it's one I haven't checked. Or maybe it's one if you try to cheat and give me a review on saying I watched this movie and then you give a review. I might know whether you've actually watched that movie or not. So be careful of that. But like I said, don't do anything to get your channels demonetized or to get your videos kicked off of YouTube. But that's T-Bone's Halloween Horror Challenge. That's right, baby. T-Bone's throwing down the challenge to all you with a YouTube channel, especially those who hate horror movies. It's time to pony up for Halloween. And I want you to give a review on it. And trust me, I'm asking y'all to take this challenge for a reason, because I've been watching the trend on YouTube, and we're coming into the time of the year when a little bit of horror content on your channel might help get you in an algorithm and get your channel built up. I've seen 3 channels get over 10,000 subscribers because they reacted to one horror movie. So give it a shot, guys. I want to see those videos. I especially want to see them from those, like I said, who hate horror movies. This challenge, I am directly challenging your manhood and your womanhood. Put on them big boy panties, put on them big girl panties, and watch you a good old-fashioned horror movie. And I'm not talking about this new comedy horror stuff. I'm talking about one of them old school, out of the 70s, one of them old school slasher movies that makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck every time you think about it. But anyway, guys, that's going to bring this video to an end. I'm going to drop it off right here. I have pushed my luck long enough. I don't know if it'll come up on the camera, but that's pitch black. There's a storm in that right there. So I'm going to get to the house. Guys, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and check out other YouTube channels, Red Rider, Rainy Rider, Flipping the Blue Mule, Loose Juice. There's plenty of channels out there to check out. G-Ma Rides, of course, Shade Tree Surgeon, Shay Lacey. And guys, until the next time, y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'm T-Bone, and this has been Rolling with T-Bone. Thank you for watching.